Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklar Country, the virus edition, aka the Pandy Pods,
AKA two guys, hopefully not a big surprise.
aka forget the risk disaster even faster with the Spirit Playmaster TJ Lancaster. Oh my God!
Wow.
Huddletron, aka Mike Huddleston, aka Old Zealand, doing his thing, incorporating other people. We're making the community. We're building it the right way. That's how we do it, guys. It is Monday. We are recording this on Thursday, so we do not know what is when we're recording this. We don't know what has happened in the election. We have a new president. I'm assuming.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Here's what we do know: we just did our live Dumb People Town, and it was amazing.
Thank you to everyone who showed up for that. We love doing it. We love at least bringing you that brief respite. That
If
hour
you missed
and a half.
if you missed it, the next one's on 12/12.
On December 12th, it's going to be our holiday episode, and we are going to play. We're going to do it, and we're going to give some money to charity. So you want to get in on that right now. It's like, consider it like your holiday party. Let us be your holiday party. That's how we do it.
Okay.
Let's jump into a show. Jump into a story.
Let's jump into the show, too.
Show and a story.
When you try and steal a car, all right, chances are you're in a desperate place. Nine times out of 10, you're in a desperate place.
The 10th is just it's a thrill. You're just, you know what I mean?
And that comes from other issues. If stealing cars is what you need to do to get you going,
to get you up, then you got other
then
problems.
you have other problems.
Let's
okay?
explore that later.
But if you're trying to steal a truck that you rented, more specifically a U-Haul,
you already gave him too much information.
then you're not just desperate, you're dumb.
Right.
You're dumb on top of being desperate, which is a horrible place to be.
Especially if it's your method to rent a truck and there's never returning.
Right. Yeah. Your method of theft is not to break into the U-Haul place. It's one thing to do that.
That's
in the middle of the night, you pick a lock, you go in, you
hotwire it, and you get out. Okay, that's one thing. But to rent it and then just be like, it's mine now.
I'm never giving it back. What are they going to do about it?
This isn't an Airbnb that you can just stay at until they try and kick you out. No, you have to give it back.
To have gone in and faced those people in the office.
Well, so you gave them your credit card. You are going to get charged for the truck. They're going to be like, great, we don't have to have this old truck anymore. This dummy bought it.
Wait, what? I'm sorry. I don't even know what part of that plan seemed good to you. To me, it's like the same thinking that went into nearly 70 million people voting for Trump.
Yeah.
What part of how short-sighted can you be? You're like, I need a truck. What could be the worst that could happen if I pick this truck?
I'll just take this truck, not realizing that the consequences are going to be awful.
Right.
I'll get busted for theft. I'll have to pay for this truck. It goes on my record.
My life gets ruined. My credit goes down the
is
toilet.
done. Everything is done.
But let's pick it.
But you know what? I need a truck, so I'm going to take this.
Let's get in the story. Altoona, Pennsylvania. Have we been in Altoona before?
We just did an Altoona, man.
Pennsylvania
Altoona is the jokey city you use along with Schenectady or
Poughkeepsie.
Those are the jokey cities that used to be in 1950s jokey writers.
And Pennsylvania, the state that may have broken our spirit.
Maybe.
Or saved the election. Who knows at this point? An Altoona woman is facing charges after she, as we mentioned, failed to return a U-Haul for more than 40 days.
I mean, she dropped
How much more than 40 days? This is my question. All right, so
more than 40 days.
So I'm mad at this article. What, 41, 42?
60 days?
You couldn't find out the detail? When did she rent it?
It's a little.
When did they get it back?
It's a little over a month. You could be like, for at least a month and a half.
It's such an odd. Okay, remember when Noah in the
Noah's Ark
story
in the Bible
was floating around for how many
40 days and 40 nights.
40 days and 40 nights.
I love they said the 40 nights as well. 40 days, 32 nights.
32 nights.
No one ever says that.
A couple nights he took off.
Took a couple nights off
was
of floating
dry.
around. That's right.
So why I love that the reporter's like, why are you all over my back about the details?
It's more than 40.
It's more than 40.
Why do you need
That's
more
all
details?
you need to know. No, we actually would like to know
I'm a journalist. I don't have to tell you everything. Yeah, you do.
How am I supposed to come up with the exact number? I don't know. Ask someone.
You're a journalist.
It's enough. For over 40 days. Does that give you an idea? It's a long time.
More than 40.
Police report that 37-year-old Donna Kolobov, which her name is Kolobov. which
She's a coal above the rest.
Yeah, so I wish when she says coal above, she points to her head as if inside of her brain
Coal
is just
above.
a lump of coal.
Coal above.
I've got coal
That's
above.
what it
That's
is.
how dumb she is.
Well, this is a dumb coal above move.
Coal above was arrested. She put coal above the rest. Was arrested and charged on November 3rd, Election Day.
Hey.
I wonder if she voted absentee, seeing as that she has gone absentee
In her brain.
and her U-Haul went absentee
It
from
did.
the lot.
It did.
She was arrested on November 3rd after the owner of a U-Haul called to file a report for a stolen van.
Dude gave her 40 days.
That's
gave
pretty
her
lenient.
at least 40 days. That we know of.
She's like, all right, I'm going to give her one more week.
I'll give her one more
5
week.
weeks. I gave her 5 weeks.
I'll give her 37 days, and then I'm going to start getting pissed.
But if she goes into the 6th week,
Forget it, man.
I'm gonna
Forget
have to
it.
call the cops.
She's a coal below at that point.
Cole Above rented the van on September 21st, 2020, and paid a $90 deposit.
Oh, she
paid the deposit.
She paid the deposit?
Oh, she paid the deposit.
Okay, good.
Okay, so then I guess she deserves to keep it, right?
At that
in
point.
her mind, she's like, I paid the deposit.
What more do you want
my
from me?
van now. I
what
paid $90.
more do you want from me?
She reportedly failed to return the van on September 23rd
Yeah.
and allegedly changed her phone number and moved.
Well, there's no way to track you any other way, like through your credit card purchases or your bank card or anything like that.
Okay, so I don't really know what happened, Red, but I wonder if she forgot to turn it in. On
How
the
do you
24th, panicked, realized she didn't turn it in, and then went so far in the other direction, was like, I got to move and I got to change my phone.
I got to go deep undercover. I got to get a new identity.
Rather than face the embarrassment of forgetting to return the U-Haul,
She's going to now
September
become a new
24th.
person, leave her family, get like plastic surgery. She's like their own witness protection program.
U-Haul was unable to contact her at this point. Yeah, that was the point of moving and
That was
changing
the
her
point
phone.
of changing your phone.
And by the way, they're a truck rental place. They're not a private investigator. They don't have the resources.
if someone's going to go to lengths to do this, then say goodbye to your truck.
Yeah.
It's part of insurance.
Yeah, I mean, they got to keep it, I guess. Yeah, chalk it up to insurance. They called the police on the 41st day to file a report.
Okay, so now that's when we know it's
We
over
gave her
40.
37 tries to return it.
And then boom, we got upset.
We got fed up. The van was found when they contacted a family member on the 300th block of First Avenue and saw the van pull in behind the house and park.
Yep.
You definitely know that van is too high for
to
the
park
behind
to go
the
in.
thing.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm sure she only moved like 3 houses down.
That's
She's
right.
like on the same street she was on
that's
from her
absolutely
original house. She's not a good thief.
No,
She's an accidental thief.
she's an accidental thief.
They called a family member and Kolobov was taken into custody.
They
Again,
contacted a family member?
like you can't tell us which family member? This reporter.
Please be more specific.
Who is it? Which was it her ex-husband?
We
Now
don't know.
that's a different
Family
story.
member. Could have been her 3-year-old
Was it
son.
her son?
Yeah, 3-year-old son.
That's just a random detail. Why? Why do you need to know?
Who
Why?
cares? We
Who
care.
cares?
We care. We do.
I want to know who's calling Kolobov out here.
Yeah.
I want to know who in her
I
family.
don't want to I want to out a whistleblower, but come on.
The victim assessed the mileage and damage. The amount owed totaled $4,000, while the damage to the roof of the van would be assessed on a later date.
So she definitely tried to take it under a bridge.
Yeah,
or
she
in a
did.
parking structure.
Yes.
Like, this is what I have now. Guys, this is my. Are you moving?
And you know,
no.
you know, this guy was checking every ding,
Oh, yeah.
every little ding,
Oh,
even the
he
dings
wrote-
that were there before she took
Everything got written
it.
up.
All of it got written up. Kolobov is facing charge. That's why you take the insurance every
That's
time.
right. Every time.
Is facing charges of theft of a motor vehicle and theft of services.
Theft of services makes it worse.
Doesn't it make it worse?
It does kind of like you stole the services that we give you.
Someone else probably, wanted to move to Canada in light of these elections, and they couldn't get a U-Haul.
That's
and
right.
It's all because of this lady.
Thank you. You ruined a life. You ruined a dream, Kolobov.
She's got coal above her neck. Mm-hmm. She's so dumb, that it was just going to be a matter of time before she got caught.
Yep.
In my mind, trying to go through like a Starbucks drive-through,
She would probably drive past the U-Haul place just to be like, it's mine now.
right? It's like the airplane stairs car from Arrested Development.
That's it. This is
After a
what
while,
now
you
have.
just know it's her.
Yep.
It's hard not to notice her. Anytime you see like a U-Haul parked at a bowling alley for 3 hours,
Or
you're like,
outside a bar, like where U-Haul, or at the supermarket.
At a
U-Haul
Trader Joe's.
U-Haul shouldn't be at a supermarket.
U-Hauls shouldn't be at booty calls.
Nope. U-Haul
2 a.m.
does not equal booty call.
Or behind someone's single level trailer home trying to hide.
You can't do it.
We can see you, U-Haul. We can see what this woman is doing. This is the dumb. And this to me speaks to a larger issue in America, which is right now, if you don't like the rules,
You're like,
just ignore them.
Yeah,
Take it. I'm taking it. These are the rules that keep our society
I
going.
love you
and keep
say
it-
America because our next story is all about a Canadian guy who has exported that shitty attitude that you just described.
like that's our worst export is this feeling that we don't have to follow the rules.
And so get ready on the other side of the break. You're going to meet a guy from Canada who is a yoga instructor.
Oh, boy.
And now has that. What are you, Bikram? We'll see you on the other side of this break. This is Sklar Country, the Virus Edition. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Again, thank you to everyone who came out to the live Dumb People Town. We announced we're doing another one on December 12th. Get your tickets for that. It is going to be a blast. Fire up. It's a holiday one. We're going to donate some of the proceeds to two charities, one for seniors and one for kids for the holidays. Let us be like your holiday party. It'll be
Office
such a
party.
blast.
You don't have an office party this year? We'll be that
We're
for
going to be that Zoom party for you, and we're loving doing those shows. Thank you to everyone who's been coming out.
It's a blast.
It warms our heart to see so many of you and to get the feedback from all of you guys. It's just the greatest thing. If you want to tool around more time and just sort of lose yourself down some rabbit holes, go to our YouTube page, Sklar Country. Look up. We got old episodes of Cheap Seats on there, old Dumb People Town episodes that we videoed in the studio. So all sorts of good stuff. Check that out. And let's jump into this next story, shall we?
Yep.
So to me, and I don't know if you feel this way, the one thing that's kind of come out of the last several years here is that I think we now realize how evil conspiracy theorists were. I used to think they were just fringe nuts.
Right. Well, but they are okay.
Because their assault is on the truth. Like the more power they have, the more followers that they have, the more dangerous they are.
Right. Correct.
Like that just shows you how dangerous QAnon and things like that is.
Right.
They're like cult leaders with better reach.
Right.
Like they're not face-to-face cult leaders, but they have the same pull on people.
Yeah.
Right? Because they sort of, I've been listening to so much, I started listening to the Nexium pod.
Yeah.
I started listening to Escaping Nexium, which is very similar to the series, but it offers some details. And it's just about how people buy into a certain thing because you're scratching an itch that they need scratched, and so then they're all in.
Right.
That's exactly what is happening here. They're like sort of cult leaders with better reach.
Yes.
Left to, I think they should be relegated to the fringe of society, left to wander around a pen of their own messed up ideas, and I would throw feces in there if you want.
Their own feces or animal feces?
Whatever. Okay. Because, again, like I said, their assault on facts, Jay.
Yeah.
And of the truth are the biggest, I think, existential threat that societies face on the whole right now moving forward.
Well, right. And because they have been thrust into the mainstream, it's like when something doesn't belong in the mainstream, and there's a reason why it's never been in the mainstream, but suddenly now it is in the mainstream, it's bad.
So
it's like putting cocaine in the drinking water.
Right.
It's like, we don't need it. We don't need that.
You're not going to stop these people, but we can try and limit their damage to only the people who believe them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like the dude in this next story. He is a real gem. A notorious Metro Vancouver COVID-19 conspiracy theorist. So he's now
You're known for being a dummy. You're known for being an idiot and a fool.
Has been charged with breaking mandatory quarantine after returning from, get this, and you will be like, this is exactly what he returned from, a flat earth conference in the United States.
Well, it makes sense that they would be having a flat earth conference right now.
He'd
a
go-
conference that you have to go to.
He'd go to the literal ends of the earth to attend that conference. Of course, this dumbass, again, flat earth conference, like you said, Jay, is being held in person right now.
Stupid.
That's where you can find all the other crazy tinfoil hatters, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure there was a lot of social distancing at that conference, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they set everything up 6 feet apart.
Adherence to COVID guidelines, all that stuff.
Mak Parhar, that's his name. Mak Parhar is charged with 3 counts. I mean, I hate Mak Parhar so much. I think Harmar Superstar should be able to take a shit on his head.
Yeah.
Is charged with 3 counts of breaking the Canada Quarantine Act, according to records, and made his first appearance in court on Tuesday.
So basically, he came back from this event into
Right.
Canada, and the rules are if you come back to Canada,
You have to
from
quarantine for 2 weeks.
14 days.
Right. You think Mak Parhar cares about your stupid guidelines, Canada?
No.
You can't put Mak Parhar in a box.
He thinks the moon disappears into the night every morning.
He sees a 2D map and says, yep, that's what the world looks like.
He's got conferences to gather at.
According to his Facebook page. That seems weird.
That's so weird that he's on Facebook.
Active on Facebook.
I know.
Parhar recently traveled to Greenville, South Carolina for an event called Flattoberfest 2020, a gathering of conspiracy theorists who believe that the earth is flat. Flattoberfest is the dumbest thing ever.
Right. So now you've taken a pun from Oktoberfest.
It's not clever. Like Rocktoberfest is clever, or Bachtoberfest is, or if you work for a bunch of clock workers, Clocktoberfest.
Clocktoberfest would
a
be
grandfather clock.
If you make women's like high-end clothing, Frocktoberfest would also be
You're
good.
just putting a word in front of Oktoberfest, like Shirttoberfest. That is not anything.
It's stupid.
It sounds as dumb as, I don't know that the earth is flat, you idiot.
It's a dumb idea.
Parhar made an appearance at a rally in front of the Vancouver Art Gallery on Sunday and bragged about breaking the mandatory 14-day self-isolation period upon his return to Canada.
Yeah, good idea to brag about something like that in public.
Get it on camera.
Shit.
Put that on Facebook so we can gather more evidence against you, dummy. Or
Maybe he thought his words would just fall off the end of the earth.
yeah, and float away into space when they reached India, I guess, where he thinks
I don't know where the end of the earth is.
Quote, I'm not going to put myself in prison because I'm a free man with God-given rights, Parhar told a small gathering of COVID-19 conspiracy theorists in a video. I'm glad it was a small gathering.
Yeah.
You might be a free man, but you are part of a society that has rules, dummy, and you are not above those rules. This is the thing.
This is the thing.
This is what we were talking about before.
It's what we were talking about before. There's this thing now out there where if someone tells you, even if it's for the good, if it's something you don't want to do, you are saying you're taking away my personal freedoms. You're saying...
So it's be like if there was a line, you waited in line to get into the grocery store. So the grocery stores around us are being very responsible. They're not letting too many people go in at one time, which is a bummer if you got to wait a little bit longer, but it's actually being responsible to your health. They don't want you to be in such close
It's a
quarters.
responsible move, yes.
So it'd be like you waited in line for 30 minutes to get into your Trader Joe's so you could go shopping. Okay. And then all of a sudden you get up towards the front of the line. You've been waiting for 30 minutes and some asshole just walks in, says, I don't want to wait in line.
Yeah,
I don't want to wait in line. You tell me, would the rest of the line be okay with him doing that?
No. Worse. It would be like that person saying, I don't want to wait in line, and then going in and buying all the food.
Right.
And not leaving anything for anyone.
I mean, like, I think he should be able to be hung with a tote bag.
Yes.
In the 14 items or less lane that he's got 22 items in because he doesn't follow the rules.
He doesn't care. He doesn't have to.
Lynch his ass. Court records show that he is accused of violating quarantine on October 31st, November 1st, and November 2nd. Yeah, because he's got a God-given right to be an asshole.
A big asshole.
In his rambling speech at the art gallery, that's weird. It was rambling, had nowhere to go. Parhar bragged about taking off his face mask on planes to and from the United States. Great, you're that asshole. And and about refusing to fill out federal government quarantine forms when he landed at Vancouver International Airport. Keep talking. We're writing all this down, buddy. Keep mentioning all this stuff. Sincerely, a Canadian Mountie high atop a Canadian moose.
Do they ride moose?
I would love to see, and I think that
they shouldn't ride horses.
I think all Canadian Mounties should be forced to ride moose.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be cool?
I would love it. That's not
Is that too much to ask?
No, it is not.
He claimed that a border agent was, quote, rattled by a suggestion that the Quarantine Act doesn't apply to him, and said that he told them that he's not legally a traveler or a person under the law. Rattled
is a weird word. That's your word. I'd say his word is like restraining himself from wanting to punch you or choke you out.
And I feel like that should be a thing. If you're not wearing a mask or refuse to at an airport or a public place, I think it should be a female MMA fighter, because a lot of these anti-mask dudes are so like, they think they're so tough and they think it makes them manly. Get a female MMA fighter to literally punch them in the face and continually punch them until they put a mask on. Where the mask is. Where the mask
make like
should be.
A bruise mask.
Yeah, we're going to make you look like a man. And again, the fact that it's coming from a woman is going to be so much more emasculating for these
See
dudes.
how rattled you get after that happens. How about that?
That'd be a blast, wouldn't it? No, he's just, this is what he said, which I can't say it. They're not used to people who aren't obedient little sheep, Parhar said in a speech on Sunday. No, the people who follow you are obedient little sheep.
You're a sheep too, to the flat earther concept.
Yeah.
You're
can't have your own ideas.
You're a sheep.
The people who wear masks are smart and evolved human beings who care for others. They make the choice on their own to see the world as a 3D place, not a flat
where
map.
everybody interacts and people's actions affect other people.
The claim that he's not legally a person lines up with yet another conspiracy theory, the, quote, natural person argument used by certain tax evaders who say only, quote, artificial persons need to pay taxes or obtain a license to drive. I would agree that he's not a person.
Yeah, he's definitely not a person.
He is a piece of dried dog shit,
Yeah.
something that smells bad and
Yeah.
also you want to just take and throw.
Throw in the trash.
The argument has been rejected over and over again in Canadian courts, and rightfully so.
What a surprise.
At least
You're
we know
wrong.
the Canadian courts work, right,
Yeah.
Jay?
Yeah.
Imagine if the courts and the
What a
courts-
waste of time for these courts.
That's
They
right.
shouldn't have to dignify these with responses, these cases.
Again, this is the moment where you bring in a female MMA star and you start kicking him in the elbow to the face.
Jack.
Parhar, who's also spoke on Sunday's speech about police visiting the house on multiple occasions over the weekend to fine him for breaking quarantine, and then he mocked an officer who revealed that the officer had had a relative recently die of COVID-19. All right, stop. Officers, you don't need to reveal anything to this guy. You don't have to tell him anything. Just say, you broke quarantine, put your hands behind your back. We're going to put some bracelets on you, buddy.
Right.
Get on that moose. Make him ride the moose.
Make him ride the moose.
Make him fight a moose.
Make him get banged by a moose from behind.
Or bring the MMA woman just elbow in the
Elbows.
face.
I mean, this is a guy who needs his neck set.
People don't die of COVID because you guys already know this. COVID doesn't exist, Parhar told his supporters. COVID doesn't exist. And I would say neither does your right to your house
Yeah.
or your car or that yoga studio. If we're talking about things that don't exist, it's fun to do this.
Yeah.
We can take it all.
Sleep outside.
Does that seem fun? I like saying that things don't
You
exist
want
anymore.
to? Yeah, the cold doesn't exist. Why don't you just sleep outside?
Your
in Canada?
legal claim to all your stuff doesn't exist. It's mine now.
It's ours.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
Parhar has signed it in has had a high-profile Vancouver area protest against COVID-19 restrictions since the beginning of the pandemic. Well, it's definitely he sounds like the type of roided-out guy that you would want to take yoga from, right?
Uh-huh. Sure.
This guy during a pandemic without a mask,
Oh,
you know how
Coming
yoga,
over, giving you adjustments while
Right.
you're bending into your positions.
You know how yoga is such a selfish practice based on
yes.
misinformation and disrupting the universe.
And aggressive behavior.
Those are the basic tenets of yoga.
Yes, and this guy's just keeping that and espousing
So many
it.
of the basic yoga moves, I don't have to tell you guys this, are about closing yourself off to the truth
Yes.
and breathing misinformation into the air. That's essentially what
it's
it is.
the basis of yoga.
This guy, like the guy owning a yoga studio would, to me, be like Trump owning a health food store.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't see it. Or Paula Deen owning an abortion clinic.
Yes.
In March, the city of Delta pulled the business license for his hot yoga studio. I love that he's the one who should be calling it Bikram yoga, right?
Yeah.
He definitely should be calling it Bikram
Yeah,
yoga.
that guy doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care. And so they when his business closed, he began using his studio for gathering of like-minded people who believe it's a hoax. Guess what? I think his yoga is a hoax.
Yeah, how about that? Your
Hoax
yoga's a
go.
hoax.
Your yoga
Hoax
is a
yoga.
hoax. Breathe in. This is what I would say to him. Breathe in and hold it forever.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Hold your breath forever, man.
Hold
We
your
don't
breath
need
forever.
we don't need to hear from you
And
ever
then
again.
we'll come over with the MMA lady and she can just
Pop,
knee
pop,
right in
pop.
thing. And it would be really fun to watch. All right, that's the show, you guys.
There you
That
go.
is how we do. Again, we're recording this on Thursday. We don't know what happened over the weekend. We could have a new president or not. All that we know is that we did our show and it was great. And we want you guys to check it out. Eventbrite.com. Look up Live Dumb People Town for the next one, which is on
December 12th, 12/12.
Stay connected, stay protected, don't get infected, guys. We love you. This is not a hoax.
But we've got the jokes.
Wear a mask, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.
La ti da, la ti da ti da ti da, la ti da.